and I'm here. I can hold this?
No, I'm
Oh,
gonna
okay.
hold it.
So I'm here to oppose the cell tower installations, especially at the 14828 Dufif Drive location. Um, um, so looking at the question and answers that Montgomery County has provided regarding why the county can't prohibit cell antennas in residential areas, it says here that because of the 1996 federal FCC law, cell phone companies have the right to close a significant gap in their cell coverage. So if it is determined that a significant gap exists, the law allows cities and counties to require that these companies fill this gap. But so far, it seems like there's been no evidence that there is this significant gap. In my neighborhood, I did a Verizon check, and it's all red. We have connection. We have data. Where is this significant gap coming from that you're trying to fulfill? Right?
Okay, so let's try to answer
Also,
this.
I'm not done yet. Also, based on the same Q&A, it says here that these propositions or the requirements are, well, let me read it from my own notes. As stated in the Montgomery County fact sheet on cell antennas, the push to install a tower at that location is based solely on the opinion of the applicant, Crown Castle, that current network capacity is not sufficient. You guys wrote that, right? So have you, Montgomery County, have you guys done your due diligence to check against to see there is this significant gap that you need to fill? Because in my neighborhood, we all have good cell phone coverage data plan. Again, Verizon, the company that you guys are trying to build these towers for, it says we have good coverage. So why do we need these additional cell towers in this place, right? Now, that's one question. Another question is, we keep on hearing, oh, it's federal law, it's FCC, we can't do anything about it, and this is addressed to Montgomery County Council. But I've just been studying in the last half a day because I became aware of it, and I became more aware of it because it's my neighbor that's getting this tower, and I have 3 young kids, I'm concerned. But there's precedents in California and Long Island. They've refused or denied the same FCC requirement to install these cell towers. So you guys make it sound like, oh, we have our hands tied and we can't do anything. When there's been precedents, and there's been, in California, the Ninth Circuit Court has overruled based on the determination of this significant gap of coverage. Another thing I read in a New York Times article, it says here that health concerns are not a valid reason for the municipality to deny zoning for cell tower or antenna. However, property values and aesthetics do qualify according to the act. So search it up. I don't know the writer. I don't know the writer of that New York Times, the author. You can call them or contact them. It's fairly recent. It's like 3 or 4 years old. So they know something that you guys don't. So reach out. Do something for us. You're our government. You support. You are serving us, especially for our well-being. And lastly, just on that, the World Health Organization has categorized these RF signals as level 2 or class B carcinogenic, and it's in the same category as lead, DDT, and engine exhaust. So think about that. For our family, our children, I know right now it says, hey, health concerns are not a big deal per the law, but you have these other 2 areas where you can try to refute it or fight back.
All right. Take a look.
Yeah.
Can we have Verizon answer? Which one? You want to, like Verizon?
The capacity, the coverage.
Sure. Absolutely valid question. I am going to have our senior RF engineer from Verizon, Jose Espino, answer the question for you.
So the question is, why? What's the need? Was that basically?
It's already got capacity.
If we already have capacity? So you have service right now because we planned ahead. Your neighborhood is being served by surrounding macro sites. Specifically, you are being served on 700 megahertz, which is the lowest frequency which we're licensed to transmit on. That is not where we have the majority of our bandwidth, which is you can think of that as a freeway. That's not the largest freeway. We have that capacity and higher frequencies. You're being served right now because we anticipated the usage and we anticipated the need years ago. We're looking years ahead at what is coming. We analyze data traffic every day. We look at where it's coming from. We look at how it's trending. And we make a design to accommodate that. It takes a long time to build infrastructure. So we have to start ahead of time. You're experiencing good service right now because we thought ahead. That's why. We want you to continue to experience good service. As demand increases, your coverage will decrease because the mobiles closer to the genesis of the signal, to the cell site that's actually providing service, are going to demand more service. And the further away that is currently being provided, the UEs, the devices, the mobile phones that are further away are going to have less and less and less power from the cell site. It's the nature of the technology.
If that's true, why did you come to us, residents? Lord knows I get something from Verizon in my mail every day.